Hello, I'm Cheryl Hatch, photojournalist.
And my name is Brian Castner. I'm a writer, and we are here on our last day in Liberia to report on the 101st Airborne and their efforts to fight Ebola in this country. We were each drawn to this story for two different reasons. I'm a military veteran, do a lot of writing about the military and veterans issues, and so this was a chance to see the military and what they do outside of Iraq and Afghanistan.
And I'm a veteran photojournalist with more than 2 decades experience working in the Middle East and Africa, particularly covering conflict, and in my career, how conflict affects civilians, women and children. I covered Liberia during the Civil War in 1990, so I was intrigued both to come back to Liberia and also to look at the U.S. military working here on a humanitarian mission.
And I think that what we found while we were here, we were primarily here for the Army story, for the 101st Airborne story. They brought 3,000 troops, and so we thought it was going to be this huge piece of it, and instead we discovered that they were really only one piece of a much bigger puzzle involving NGOs, involving the government of Liberia, involving USAID, and so we spent a lot of our time trying to figure out how they fit in to this much broader response to Ebola.
I think that was indeed one of our challenges, is starting out making a proposal in September and following the storyline and seeing that the military had accomplished what they'd set out to accomplish, setting up the Ebola treatment units and training the healthcare workers. And so by the time we got here, the number of cases was declining, the military were starting to send people home, and we had to look at it with new eyes and go out in the country and discover what's the big, broad picture, what's the military story sitting on top of.
And actually it gave us an opportunity to really tell a more comprehensive story, not just see the Army in the middle of what they were doing, but the entire broad response and kind of look back as retrospective. I think some of the other challenges we faced are just personal with Cheryl and I. We had only spent about 3 hours together in person before we spent 3 weeks of every moment together here. I had never worked with a photographer in quite such a hands-on way. I'd written a lot of longer pieces, long-form retrospective things, and so Cheryl really taught me a lot about reporting right in the minute and what that kind of newspaper deadline is like.
It's true, and we also had excellent communication between each other from the start of the conversation about the project and all the way through. We shared space and cars and the story, and the challenge for me was, let's make sure we're both getting what we need to tell a complete story. Brian, some days were all interview days, and then some days we'd say, ooh, let's really focus on the visuals today. And some days we both got what we wanted, but we were really concerned about having both the visuals and the words support and complement each other and tell the big picture. We both wanted to come away with work and stories we were proud of.
And of course we couldn't have done it without the Pulitzer Center on Crisis Reporting. We're very thankful for Vice News and Foreign Policy that ran a number of our stories, and to the Cape Hotel here, which is where it was our home away from home. It was our home base, and they treated us real well.
And we're signing off from the terrace, looking out at the terrace of the Cape Hotel, looking out at the Atlantic Ocean. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.